The American College of Rheumatology defines it as having a history of widespread pain for at least 3 months, both sides of the body.
Fibromyalgia is a real disease or syndrome.
And fibromyalgia is just basically an oversensitivity to pain. Even the lightest touch like this can hurt somebody really bad with fibromyalgia.
They wake up in the morning and feel worse or more tired than when they went to bed at night.
Fibromyalgia is a very common complaint which causes considerable pain, disability and distress in the population.
What is fibromyalgia?
Think of the word myalgia to mean pain, algia meaning pain, myo meaning muscle, fibro meaning the fibers where the muscle attaches to the bone. So you have muscles and fibers that hurt.
Now, what it is to say it's a hypersensitivity of the nervous system.
It has also associated with significant fatigue, cognitive dysfunction, or also called fibrofog, sleep disorder, muscle pain, along with, again, the fatigue that's significant affecting your life.
But even with all these similarities, it's not the same for every individual that's given this diagnosis, or label, if you will.
The National Fibromyalgia Association defines fibromyalgia as being a complex chronic pain syndrome.
So it is a situation with the brain.
But really, it's kind of extended more than that these days, because fibromyalgia actually encompasses a lot of different stuff. And if you look at the research out there, most causes of fibromyalgia really aren't from muscle problems. Muscles really don't cause problems unless something else triggers those muscles to react. And in fact, if you look at the research out there, and it's overwhelmingly the research showing that most patients with fibromyalgia are from what's called neurogenic, or we call nervous system related problems, or problem within your nervous system, whether it's damaged, it's blocked, it's weakened, the nervous system isn't functioning like it's supposed to.
This is a silent type of process. Grandkids don't know you have it, spouses often don't know you have it, and this is a condition of pain. The pain is widespread across the shoulders, across the hips, and sometimes it's associated with just a sense that you don't want to be touched. Even a gentle caress or a hug from the grandchild that you love so much makes it difficult for you to interact with these family members.
There are actually 18 trigger points both on the front and the back, and if you have at least 11 of these trigger points, then the diagnosis of fibromyalgia can be made.
Such as they may have irritable bowel, that is, they can have alternating diarrhea and constipation. They can have mood disorders like depression and anxiety. We don't know what causes fibromyalgia, but it's very common.
It might affect up to 2% of the adult population at any one time.
You know, those that get diagnosed with fibromyalgia, you know, suffering the way that most people can't even comprehend. I mean, their fight seems never ending. I mean, quite frankly, most of the family members of these sufferers with fibromyalgia, they can't even comprehend what's wrong with them. I mean, they've got their loved one right there. I mean, they look normal.
So that could be tingling in the arms, pain down the legs, pain in the arms, pain in the face, the back of the head, numbness, all that types of stuff. Can essentially be with patients
with all of these difficulties, it is very hard to hold down a job, to engage in daily activities, to go for a car ride. One of the most difficult things about this condition is that the longer you have to sit in a position, the more uncomfortable you get.
And they know what it's like to feel like you've been hit by a Mack truck every single day.
The best way I can describe it for people who've not experienced it before is to imagine when you have flu. And one of the major symptoms of flu is your muscles ache all over. This is the cardinal symptom of fibromyalgia, except unlike flu, it doesn't get better. There is a constant whole body ache.
are tenderness, i.e. that's why we have the tender point test, pain, which is all over, whole body, low level, on most days pain, and fatigue that is pervasive and can sometimes be absolutely crippling.
They can't sleep. They're often unable to get the words out or perform a simple task, a mental task, because their brain seems cloudy or foggy. You know, being misunderstood, that's pretty much an everyday reality for a fibromyalgia sufferer.
Okay, my name is James. I've had fibromyalgia for 24 years or so. It became very difficult to work, do my job, and I ended up signed off sick, and that just went on, and no one really knew what was wrong with me. The pain throughout my body in unexplained different places was just appalling. There were times when it was difficult to move, and my wife would look after me, help me get dressed, that kind of thing. It's been very, very tough. That severe bout lasted for 4 or 5 years, laying down a lot of time, trying to rest to get enough energy to go to work and all that sort of thing. And by this time I've got a young family, and the difficulties of not being able to play football with my boy and you know, play with the girls and all of that was very difficult. It's been tough on them, really tough on them. I didn't know what to do with myself, really, and went to the doctor again, who this time said, I think you've got fibromyalgia, and kind of did some tests and investigations, but mainly advised me to look on the internet. So I knew I was in trouble. My wife has been fantastic. She cares for me, and I've just been at home, just doing nothing, seeing no one. The isolation has been awful. Got some friends that have tried to understand, but like you hear everybody say with fibromyalgia, most people tend to think it's in your head, and you know, the trouble is sometimes the fibromyalgia plays tricks on you, and if you start to think it's in your head too, you think you're going crazy. During this whole time, it might seem a strange thing to say, but the Lord has been good, and I have to say that. You know, marriages get under pressure with this kind of illness, and the Lord has been good to us. And there have been 1 or 2 really good friends. If it's all right, I'd like to say thank you, Don, for visiting me so regularly and faithfully. I couldn't have got through it if you hadn't.